We open with a peaceful sequence of images inside the Roundtable Hold. Tarnished are just roaming around, spending their hours productively. Some sit in one of the studies, reading, learning about the world and lore. Others talk with each other, creating friendships and alliances. Others plan their own tactics on taking Stormvale Castle. Finnick, however, is down in one of the training rooms. He's practicing his sword on one of the training puppets. There's determination in his eyes, ready for anything, destined to prove himself. He's not a failure. He won't be a failure. He can't be a failure. That's when Roger enters and congratulates him on having such a good first impression on Gideon. It may not have looked like it, but the all-knowing was truly impressed by the fact Finnick survived Margit and lived to tell the tale. Still, having his limbs and all that. Finnick was just honest. He doesn't want to boast about. Roger respects that. However, he does believe Finnick, just like all the other Tarnished here, has something to prove. The question is it to himself or to the others? Finnick is silent. He knows the answer true enough, but he states he simply wants revenge. He won't have it that his friends died for nothing. He can't have that. Roger understands. He believes it's not the whole truth though, but part of it. Sure. That's when a trumpet sounds from a few hallways back, and a loud voice is heard. All the newly arrived Tarnished are to assemble at the round table. Roger smiles. The trials are about to begin. Finnick doesn't fully show it, but he's extremely stressed out. He needs to become part of Gideon's elite force. He has to be. He simply knows that's the only direct way to face Margit again. Gideon will never allow weak Tarnished to join his campaign on Stormvale. That's that certain. Roger asks the man if he's planning on only using his sword. Finnick is, that's the only weapon he knows. Roger looks a bit troubled, advising him to join him. Soon, Roger shows Finnick a large room with tons of weapons. Spears, shields, daggers, staffs, clubs, long swords, short swords, great swords, everything. It's a very impressive sight to behold. All these weapons are for Tarnished to use and claim. They have an almost endless supply of it. Finnick is extremely impressed. Who makes all these? And that's when someone else enters the room. It's a horrifying beast at first, standing tall above Finnick and Roger, horns sticking from its head, almost a reptilian-like tail and limbs, a scaly skin. It enters, ignoring the two men. Finnick looks at it with an almost disgust, but Roger acts as if everything is perfectly fine. He tells Finnick he's looking at the smith who made all this. Finnick is in disbelief. That thing made all of this? The disbelief gets even more real when the creature suddenly speaks perfect English. That thing has a name, it says. Without saying anything else, it leaves. Roger chuckles, telling Finnick that's you, the blacksmith of the Roundtable Hold. He's been here for many years, endlessly smithing weapons for the Tarnished. He's something called a misbegotten, a kind that was cursed and banished by Queen Marika long ago, but Hugh is one of the only left. Finnick has trouble accepting that since Hugh's appearance reminds him of Margit, but Roger makes it clear that Hugh deserves all of their respect. His weapons have been used to slay dozens of monsters and threats, saving a great deal of lives. Whatever weapon Finnick chooses here to win the trials, he'll have Hugh to thank for it. Still, Finnick takes a long time to walk around the armory, yet ends by choosing his own sword nonetheless. Roger doesn't respond to that, and just lets the man be. Soon afterwards, Finnick joins the other newcomers at the round table. There are around 20 of them. They all look different. The other experienced Tarnished stand in the corners of the hallways, looking at them. Roger is standing in a corner, watching closely, especially Finnick. Ensha is there as well, before he makes way for Gideon, who gives a small speech for the newcomers. His words are honest, respectable, yet harsh as well. These trials are made to decide which of them is suited to stand by Gideon's side in battle. Failing these does not mean you are banished or unworthy, but you will not be fighting in his elite force alongside the likes of Rogier or Ensha or himself. Finnick feels his heart beating powerfully. He must win this. And soon, a door opens to the first room. It's a room in which 20 long rows are set up. Rows made from several stations, where the Tarnished must destroy a piece of material, each more powerful than the last. The first one is a simple piece of wood, while the last one is a piece of bone. Finnick is curious. What creature does that bone belong to? Since it's the most powerful material out of all of them, it seems. And another Tarnished, besides him, answers. Just the bone of the most powerful creature to exist. A dragon. Finnick's eyes grow wide. A dragon? Soon, all the Tarnished choose a row, and soon Gideon starts a trial. The 5 Tarnished to finish their row last will be disqualified. And it begins. All the 20 Tarnished start to hack and slash to destroy their stations. The veterans and experienced ones stand on the side, cheering them on. Some are mocking, which does get on Finnick's nerves, but he just uses his own sword to slash down. The piece of wood is destroyed. On to the next station. It's a piece of metal. The next one is a string of steel. The next one is a golden shield of sorts. And it goes on and on and on. Veterans are cheering loudly, laughing, or keep on teasing the participants. And soon the first ones finish their lines. And sure enough, Finnick is the 7th to finish. It takes him around 10 slashes to destroy the dragon's bone, but he does it all the same. The final 5 participants are instantly called up. Gideon commends their efforts, but they will not be fighting at the vanguard. 15 Tarnished remain. The next room is a much longer one, containing a huge obstacle course. It's like a labyrinth. Gideon claims this is the biggest one. Only 5 will be allowed to continue. Each Tarnished starts at a different spot inside the maze. They are to make their way through and past all the obstacles and find the other side. If they get hit or are trapped in one of the booby traps, they are disqualified. The maze looks very bombastic, filled with tons of contraptions and booby traps. Finnick tries to analyze it from a distance, but he can't. The moment happens way too fast. Everyone is ordered to head to their starting points, each in front of an entrance to the maze. Finnick looks to his left, seeing a barbarian, reminding him of Atlas. He had hoped he would be there as well, but he knows his time will soon come. To his right is a barbarian woman, it seems. She looks at him and nods respectfully. Finnick nods back. And soon, a horn is heard. And all the Tarnished run into the maze. Finnick runs as fast as he can. It's a very adrenaline-fueled moment. Again, all the other veterans stand on a balcony to overlook the maze, cheering, yelling, laughing, applauding. Rogier smiles, enjoying the moment. Gideon is silent the whole time, observing each and every one of the newcomers. And Ensha stands behind Gideon, not moving a muscle or making a single sound as well. Inside the maze, Finnick jumps over holes in the ground, dodges spikes, crawls underneath barbed wire. Suddenly several arrows come flying out of a wall, which Finnick barely evades. He even curses. Those are actual arrows! Gideon makes it clear that if they can't evade those, then they never should have come here in the first place. Finnick is breathing hard. He jumps over several obstacles, then bumps into another Tarnished, a sorcerer it seems. Finnick wants to say something, but the fellow Tarnished simply uses his magical staff to kick him to the side, causing Finnick to fall down, hard. The sorcerer runs away, but then also gets hit from the side by a boulder that comes falling out of nowhere. Finnick curses again. What kind of maze is this? He runs towards the sorcerer to see if he's okay, only to see how the boulder wasn't real, only carrying a fraction of its mass. The sorcerer is knocked out pretty good, however. Finnick keeps running, which is when several other boulders also come crashing down, and more arrows are flying around everywhere. The further Finnick goes into the maze, the more intense it gets. The ground starts to move, random traps appear out of nowhere. The floor even collapses after a while, revealing a deep water pit below. Finnick just manages to cling onto the sides. An assassin passes by who ignores Finnick. And it's very clear now, this is truly everyone for themselves. Finnick pulls himself up and then continues to run. And that's when he bumps into the barbarian woman from earlier. They both fall down as the ground suddenly gets lifted up, causing a slide. We get a good view from Roger's position on the balcony. The entire maze is being shifted around, almost looking like a Rubik's Cube from a distance. It's a fascinating design and sight to behold, but a nightmare for everyone inside of it. Finnick and the barbarian crash down on the floor, which is when they see the finish line in the distance. They have a straight path ahead of them. The woman, however, helps him get up on his feet. This is a cool moment. It appears some are actually willing to help the others. That being said, as soon as Finnick is on his feet, the woman runs as fast as she can, and Finnick instantly pursues. The two are right behind each other, as the last dozens of meters are actual hell. The ground shivers, the walls start to close in, spikes appear out of the ground. Finnick and the barbarian evade all of them barely. The walls get closer and closer and closer, looking lethal. Run! Run! Faster! Faster! 15 meters, 10 meters, 5 meters. Faster! Come on! Finnick's heart is beating immensely as he launches himself forwards and lands hard at the finish line, just as the walls close behind him completely. The other Tarnished on the balcony cheer loudly, seeing how indeed 5 Tarnished made the finish line, and the other 10 are still inside, either trapped, unconscious, or simply lost. The maze instantly stops moving and returns back to its safe and original form. Finnick calms down after that insanely hectic moment. He smiles at the barbarian woman, and she smiles back. He thanks her as she simply shakes her head. Gideon congratulates the final 5 winners. Only one more trial remains. Whoever wins the last one will be the winner of the newcomers. In great anticipation, the final door opens to the final room, revealing a rather small circular arena. All the veterans take a seat around the room, while the 5 newcomers head to the middle. There's a small hill with a simple chest on top. Gideon makes it clear. The 5 last Tarnished are to reach the chest and claim it. Whoever does that wins. There's a bit of confusion, but that ends once Ensha appears on top of the hill. He holds 2 swords, ready, and now suddenly it becomes obvious. Finnick has a bad feeling about this, but stays strong. Ensha is dead silent, standing between the Tarnished and the chest. A final horn is blown, and the Tarnished all charge at Ensha. The masked man doesn't move, until he does, and with lightning speed, he slashes the first Tarnished down, and instantly the second. Finnick gasps. That was faster than he could even imagine. The first 2 fall down the hill, one slightly wounded, and that's when Finnick, the barbarian woman, and the third Tarnished, the assassin, charge at Ensha. They form a circle, trying to attack the masked man from all sides. But Ensha starts to spin around, covering a full 360 degrees around him. It's insanely impressive to watch. Finnick slides down and kicks Ensha to the side, but there's no movement. Both Finnick and the woman engage in a fight, and the assassin sees this as an opportunity to take the chest. But the moment he reaches it, Ensha throws one of his swords at him, severely injuring the assassin's arm, also causing him to fall down the hill. And now it's only Finnick and the barbarian. They use some decent teamwork together as they attack Ensha from opposite sides. They slide, stab, duck, dodge, slash again. It goes on for a while. Gideon keeps on watching in silence, his eyes never leaving Finnick and the woman. The duel is very fast paced. After a while, Finnick and the woman are breathing hard, but Ensha seemingly isn't tired at all. He kicks the woman down and then throws another sword at Finnick, but he evades, and then, without thinking, he slides across the ground and throws sand at Ensha's face. He's blinded for a second, and this gives the woman the opportunity to kick Ensha's legs from the ground, and suddenly, the masked man is off balance, and Finnick slashes at his chest, but Ensha, out of nowhere, does a backwards flip, and the woman is on her feet again and throws several rocks at Ensha's face. The man is blinded again, but manages to hit the woman hard against her face, causing her to fall over too. But that's when Finnick leaps high in the air behind Ensha and slashes down hard with his two fists. And Ensha gets knocked down hard as he falls down. Finnick immediately grabs his sword and holds it at Ensha's throat. And sure enough, the masked man surrenders. All the other Tarnished cheer loudly. Finnick gasps in disbelief and excitement. He can't believe it. He did it! He did it! He smiles as he looks at the chest on top of the hill. He runs towards it, looking at his fellow comrades on the balcony, all of them cheering him on. Finnick even laughs a bit. He can't believe he actually did it. Which is when he kneels down to open the chest and suddenly gets hit hard across the face. And in the blink of an eye, Finnick is knocked down and falls off the hill. It takes a while to see what just happened, but Finnick soon realizes the barbarian woman attacked him from behind. And now she's standing on top of the hill with the open chest, holding a golden trophy up in the air. Gideon applauds as Ensha returns to stand by his side, and Gideon congratulates and announces the winner and new member of his elite force, Nefeli Lu, his daughter. The room is filled with cheer and applause, but Finnick just remains on the ground in the dirt, his eyes closed. He failed.